Hey guys, today I'm making another video. So as I promised, I wanted to share with you some stuff that was happening with my game within these 4 months, and also wanted to tell you about the revenues and about my experience with Appodeal, because many of you were asking me why I'm not using Appodeal, why I'm using Yodo1. And today I wanted to break this down. I wanted to explain you a bit more about my experience with Appodeal, which I was running as experiment. I was running for 1 week, and I'm gonna compare some things with Yodo1. So first of all, I'm just gonna jump into Google Play dashboard, and I'm gonna show you what was happening in terms of downloads with my second release game, Endurance. And as you can see here, I released it last June, and the amount of downloads were just jumping, but they were pretty high. So as you can see here, it's always above 2000 downloads. At some point it just dropped a little bit in the beginning of this in the end of November, but then it came back again. But then I guess more or less in the middle of January it just dropped, and right now I get, instead of getting more or less 2100 downloads per day, I'm getting only 800 downloads per day. I'm not sure what actually led to this, but I guess maybe my game became kind of oldish, and I'm not using any advertising for the game anymore, and I wasn't using all of the installs were coming organically, but I don't know, maybe it just became kind of oldish. It's more than half a year since the launch, and that's why it reduced the download significantly. So I'm still getting around, yeah, as you can see, sometimes it's 900, but it's always lower than 1000 downloads per day. In terms of revenue, it dropped as well, so I'm gonna share with you the numbers here. So let's jump in first into the revenue from the free version, because I've got free version and I've got premium version. So the difference is only that premium version doesn't have ads and doesn't have any in-app purchases. So free version got within these 4 months 1,417 pounds, and then the premium version got 745 pounds. And as you can see, both of them, you can see how it's dropping. You can see this curve, like it's dropping, and it's probably going to continue dropping, or maybe it's going to stay more or less the same. But as you can see, it's just dropping pretty significantly. And let's to the iOS version. So iOS version got me $505 within these 4 months, and it's actually it got a bit higher than before, which is good, but still the total revenue is dropping. And now I'm gonna jump into Yodo1 dashboard. Yodo1 dashboard is basically a mediation platform that I'm using for showing ads, and as you can see here, it's within these 4 months since January 1st, it got me $4,155. If we sum up all this stuff, we're gonna end up with $7,918, and if we divide it by 4, we're gonna have almost $2,000 that I'm getting per month from this game, from Endurance. And as I was telling you before, I released this game for Nintendo Switch, for PC, for Xbox, and the Xbox version was just released 2 months ago, and actually it's starting to get in some revenue. I released Xbox version with the publisher, and Nintendo Switch version I did myself, and so I'm gonna get the revenue from those as well, but I cannot share with you those revenues. What I'm gonna tell you, they are lower that I'm getting from mobile platforms. So next thing, I'm gonna tell you also like what more or less I'm getting some additional revenue from my previous game Ailment, and it's more or less the same for $500 per month I'm getting. So in total, what I'm getting from my games and like for mobile platforms is $2,500 per month. And if you remember my previous video, I was telling you that I'm getting around $5,000 per month with my second game, Endurance. So as you can see right now, I'm getting around 40% of what I was getting before. So it's like 2,000 I'm getting right now per month, and I was getting 5,000 in 2020. more or less. So you can see like significant drop in the downloads. And even though I was releasing updates, I was answering reviews and trying to kind of keep making the game better. It didn't work out in terms of trying to increase the downloads. I was trying to change ISO for my game. I was changing the description. I was playing a bit with the title, with the subtitle for both of the iOS and Google Play versions. And I actually increased the amount of downloads a little bit and the amount of revenue for the iOS version with ASO. As you could see here, it got increased by 26%, which is good, but it didn't work out the same way for the Google Play version, even though I was trying to do that in different ways. So I was using for the operator, as I was saying in my previous videos, for the ASO. So next thing what I wanted to tell you is let's jump in and let's compare some things related to ad mediation platform. So as I was saying before, I was running Appodeal for 1 week, and I'm gonna share some stuff with you here. So here, as you can see, I was getting, when I just started, was April 15. I was not getting like much. I was getting around $16 per day. Then it kind of started to go higher, and it got to almost $23. And then it started to drop because I switched it off, because I understood that I'm actually getting better amount of revenue from Yodo1. And because as you can see here, I was getting around 6 to 8,000 impressions per day. And if we jump into Yodo1, this is the week before, so this information is coming from the week before I started using Appodeal. So as you can see here, I'm getting around more or less the same 6,000 of impressions per day, but the eCPM is much higher. It's almost twice higher. It's like between $4 and $6 per 1,000 views. And if you compare it to Appodeal, it's actually Appodeal was getting me around $2-3 for 1,000 views. It's actually with Yodo1, the eCPM was twice higher, so I was getting twice higher revenue than I was getting with Appodeal. So that was one of the reasons why I actually decided to switch back to Yodo1, because I was thinking, okay, with these guys, they have more ad networks implemented. I guess right now they have more networks than actually Appodeal. And also I wanted to tell you about the implementation. It was pretty difficult to implement it. With the other one, it was much easier, but it could be much easier because I've already done it so many times. But with Appodeal, it took me some time. It took me around 2 days to implement all of the things related to the coding. And also, after I implemented the coding part, I had to also switch some of the networks. For example, like Google AdMob, I had to switch them on, connect them to my game additional separately. And for example, networks like Facebook, Google AdMob, Yandex, and some others, you have to connect them manually yourself. So you have to register, you have to connect them, and then you have to connect them to this Appodeal dashboard, which actually takes some time and takes some understanding, because you have to make some research how to do it. I mean, they have all this in documentation. They're trying to make it as simpler as it could be, but it still takes more time than it was with Yodo1, because with Yodo1, all the thing you have to do, you have to just implement their SDK, and that's it. About the rest, they take care themselves. So that's why actually I decided to stick with Yodo1, because both of these companies, they have pretty good support. I was writing when I had some questions when integrating Appodeal, I was writing their support. They were replying pretty quickly, but the implementation is much easier, and you don't have to install any additional stuff, just their SDK, and that's it. For the Appodeal, it was more challenging, and the eCPM is lower. So yeah, this is kind of like a very brief idea of my experience with Appodeal. And I still prefer Yodo1. I still prefer Yodo1 because they're still growing, and then they have a more individual approach to every client. So that's why I like. They don't pay me for advertising them. I'm just that's why this is just my experience with them, and I doing pretty good job. And I think they're gonna continue doing that, and they probably going to become even better. So okay, guys, I hope this video was interesting and useful for you. And if you want to continue watching my videos, you can always subscribe for this channel or not. It's up to you. Okay, have a good one, guys. Bye bye.